the whole purpose is what we were talking about before, is that there's so many more people that are coming into the movement that are starting to understand what's going on. So we're kind of going back to basics here. And for a lot of the Anons and the Patriots too, I think we need to go back to basics because we get caught up in all the things that are going on now. A lot of this stuff has already been done. It's already been done, and this video proves it. So with that, we went with the title for tonight's show to be in present, future proves past. And as Juan says, 2020, it's not over yet. So all of us that have been in the movement, we know that from 2017, this has been a military operation. So I just wanted to tell everyone by showing us that we're under a continuity government. And if you follow at all Rattletrap 1776, DJ Derek Johnson, he does a phenomenal job, and he can just rattle it off his tongue like there's no tomorrow on how this all comes about. So I just want to let everyone know that right now we're under a continuity, we're under a military operation as we speak to restore our republic. The executive orders that all Trump signed were all part, and they have everything to do with the debt clock that we're going to get into this. So we wanted to show you that you can go right to the whitehouse.gov and look up every one of these executive orders. This is the first time that a president has put all this stuff on the whitehouse.gov. And there's so much information. If you have not ever gone to whitehouse.gov, I highly encourage you to do so. Here's the executive orders. Executive Order 13848, Executive Order 13903, and this has all got to do with child trafficking, online child exploitation in the United States and around the world. All these executive orders are in effect for the whole entire world, not just the United States, and we showed that in the video. And then we've got Executive Order 13818, Executive Order 14248, and that's why we showed the elections of 2020 and going on even before 2020. We never had elections. We had C-elections. And this executive order here, preserving and protecting the integrity of the American elections, is not only for us, but is for over 70 countries that have had their elections stolen from them in 2020. And then we Executive Order 13773, enforcing federal law with respect to transnational criminal organizations and preventing international trafficking. Again, it has to do with our borders. A lot of people don't talk about these executive orders enough. And then the major one, which has to do with the new currency and the new financial system that's coming in, and that is the great JFK signing Executive Order 11110, and that was to bring us back to precious metals and the silverback certificates. This here is, I wanted to bring this up. This was in our last week's show, but we didn't get to it. But this plan goes all the way back to Abraham Lincoln, because our history was changed after 1871. And this was one of the messages that was on the debt clock. And it is Abraham Lincoln, and it shows the silver certificates. And the big thing here is that money will cease to be master and will cease to be the master and become the servant of humanity. And I wanted to touch on that because it's going to be a totally different world that we're going to be living in. Because we've been brought up as cash is king, business is business, personal is personal. Don't talk about politics or religion. All of it's bullshit, you guys. It's all
what else
bullshit.
Is there to talk about that's important? Tell me, just give me one other subject matter outside of politics and religion when you're connecting with people on the planet.
Correct. Yes. So, and then I circled here, this was the last show we did, Scott. Mm-hmm. We were at $614,000 per citizen.
Wealth per citizen, 614.
Yeah,
right?
well,
right.
It's gone up over $2,000 since our first show.
616,000 plus. Yeah. So folks are getting richer by the minute as they deconstruct this crime syndicate.
This is a slide I put in there because a lot of people don't know this, but since 1871, we were no longer a republic. We became a corporation. And the politicians stole our country through the British Parliament. And like you said, the states are corporations, the counties are corporations, the city and towns are corporations. So all this, even our school districts are all corporations.
Yep.
None of them are constitutional.
Seems to me that the corporation is the Antichrist.
That is the right. What is the first three letters of corporation? Corpse. We're all corpse.
Corpse. We're all dead entities. Corpse.
Yep. This I wanted to put in here. This is our actual fake money, the demonic money that we have in our pockets, in our bank accounts, in our whatever mattresses or what have you. And there's all kinds of demonic symbolism that's all over our money. We've been ruled by a bunch of Satanists. They worship Baal and Lucifer, and it's right on our money, folks. And I wanted to just illustrate it, and I'll show you even further. They told us before they did 9/11 in 2001. They told us on our money. They printed the money and hid this symbolism right on our money. You can see the $5 bill, the $10 bill, and we're going to show you a quick clip here on how you can fold the money up, and it'll show the Twin Towers coming down.
A friend of mine showed me something weird about U.S. currency. The 5, the 10, the 20, and the 50. Real U.S. currency. Old design, hasn't been changed in years. You take all the bills, fold them the same way. First you fold in half lengthwise. Now you've got the back side. Put it upright. Fold from the middle. You somehow have the Twin Towers. Intact. There they are. $5 bill, unfolded. Onto the 10. Same fold pattern. In half. This side up, folding from the center. The Twin Towers again, but now they're on fire. U.S. currency, very weird. Moving on to the 20. U.S. currency. New one. Big face. Fold it in half. Upright, same fold pattern. They're beginning to come down, collapsing on themselves. Finally, concluding with the 50. New, happy, colorful 50. Back, same fold. They're gone. Smoking pile of rubble. Spooky. Happy 9/11.
So let's, I wanted to share with the people that they put those Twin Towers up and they printed the money. That was all planned, folks. It was all planned.
Realize that we are living in what John Rappaport calls the matrix of lies. It's now known that the Twin Towers were condemned in 1988. And they became an immediate $2 billion insurance albatross on the states of New York and New Jersey. People need to understand that the Twin Towers were owned by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey until July of the year in which Zionist Israel took down the Twin Towers with the complicity of Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld. What I believe happened is that in 1990, Dick Cheney was privately briefed by Benjamin Netanyahu, and they said, "Praise be to the Lord. This is a terrorist incident conflict in the future that will justify a police state in the United States and endless war abroad. It's absolutely crystal clear that 9/11 was controlled demolitions and that the Pentagon was either a missile or an inside-out explosion. I've cleaned up after a Marine Corps helicopter accident, and I've seen other aircraft disasters. First off, the engines and the wings never go into the building. Second off, you have luggage and body parts and seats everywhere. By the way, the FBI and the CIA were complicit in 9/11 before and after the fact. CIA and the FBI confiscated videotapes of evidence. This was a U.S. government operation. So 9/11 is what turned me on to the reality that my government was lying to us about everything.
If you are looking for the hidden knowledge, if you want to find out who runs the world, who controls the money, the politics, and almost every facet of life, this ebook will literally unveil that.